Hey everyone, today let's explore the top 10 countries that depend on Cambodia economically. These nations rely heavily on Cambodian exports like clothes, shoes, rice and more for their markets and supply chains. Cambodia's growing economy makes it a key player in Asia. If you enjoy this video, base breakdown, hit like, subscribe for more insights, and watch till the end to see the number 1 spot. Number 10. Netherlands. The Netherlands ranks as the 10th country most dependent on Cambodia, importing about $800 million worth of goods in 2024, which is 3% of Cambodia's total exports. This small but wealthy European nation relies on Cambodia mainly for affordable clothing and footwear. Think of popular Dutch stores filled with knit sweaters, t-shirts, and sneakers made in Cambodian factories. They also import some road vehicles like bicycles and parts, plus leather items like bags. Why does the Netherlands depend on this? Their economy is big on trade and retail, but they don't make much cheap apparel at home due to high labor costs. Cambodia's low-cost production helps keep prices low for Dutch shoppers. In fact, apparel makes up over 50% of these imports. Trade is boosted by the EU-Cambodia agreement, which gives duty-free access for many goods, though there are rules on labor rights to follow. Recently, imports grew by about 3.9% from last year, showing stronger ties. This dependence creates jobs in Cambodia, but also means the Netherlands' fashion industry could face shortages if supply chains break, like during pandemics. From a legal view, both countries follow international trade laws under the WTO, ensuring fair deals. Cambodia benefits from foreign investment from Dutch companies and garment factories. Overall, this partnership highlights how small nations like Cambodia support big economies in Europe. If tariffs change, it could affect prices in Amsterdam shops. Number 9. Thailand. Thailand is the 9th country depending on Cambodia, with imports valued at $850 million in 2024, about 3.2% of Cambodia's exports. As neighbors, they share a long border, making trade easy and fast. Thailand mainly imports electrical machinery like wires and parts, plus leather goods such as handbags and wallets from Cambodia. They also get some agricultural products like rice and rubber. Why the dependence? Thailand's huge manufacturing sector needs cheap parts for electronics and cars, and Cambodia provides them at lower costs. Border trade is massive, topping $480 million in just 1 month last year. This helps Thailand's economy, which is one of Asia's biggest, by keeping production affordable. Legally, they have ASEAN free trade agreements that cut tariffs and make shipping simple. No visas needed for trucks crossing borders. Trends show a 16.5% rise in border trade recently, driven by Thailand's demand for raw materials. However, issues like border disputes sometimes slow things, but talks under ASEAN laws keep it smooth. Cambodia gains from this too, as Thai companies invest in factories there. If Thailand faces shortages, their phone and car makers could suffer. This tie shows how nearby countries rely on each other for growth, like family sharing resources. Number 8. Germany. Germany comes in at 8th, importing around $9–10 million from Cambodia in 2024, which is 3.4% of total exports. This powerful European economy depends on Cambodia for clothing and accessories, like t-shirts, pants, and knitwear. They also import some footwear and leather products. Germany's big retail chains, like those selling affordable fashion, rely on these cheap imports to stay competitive. Why? Labor in Germany is expensive, so they outsource production to places like Cambodia for cost savings. Apparel alone makes up most of the imports, helping brands like H&M source from there. The EU-Cambodia trade deal allows duty-free entry, but it includes rules on human rights and environment, which Cambodia must follow or risk losing benefits. Imports grew by 12.8% recently, showing increasing reliance. Legally, WTO rules and EU standards ensure quality and fair trade. German investments in Cambodian factories create jobs, but concerns over worker conditions lead to audits. If supplies drop, German shoppers might pay more for clothes. This dependence underlines global supply chains, where a small country supports a giant like Germany. As a researcher, I see potential for more sustainable trade laws to benefit both sides. Number 7. United Kingdom. The UK is 7th on the list, with $960 million in imports from Cambodia in 2024, about 3.6% share. Post-Brexit, the UK still depends on Cambodian goods like textiles, footwear, bicycles, rice, and other farm products. Stores like Primark and supermarkets stock Cambodian-made clothes and shoes. Why depend? The UK doesn't produce much low-cost apparel domestically, so imports keep fashion affordable for everyday people. Rice and foodstuffs help with food diversity too. Trade is supported by the UK's Developing Countries Scheme, giving duty-free access similar to old EU deals. Imports jumped 18.8% last year, boosted by demand for bikes and eco-friendly items. Legally, both follow WTO and bilateral pacts ensuring no child labor and fair wages. UK companies invest in Cambodia's garment sector, creating thousands of jobs. But if tariffs rise, like with new policies, prices could go up in London shops. This shows how Cambodia helps the UK's economy recover from challenges. From a legal angle, strong enforcement of trade laws prevents exploitation. Overall, it's a growing partnership for mutual benefit. Number 6, Spain. Spain ranks 6th, importing $1 billion from Cambodia in 2024, 3.9% of exports. This sunny European country relies heavily on Cambodian apparel, with exports surging 31% to $1.2 billion in clothing alone. Think t-shirts, dresses, and knitwear filling stores like Zara. They also import some footwear and leather goods. Why the dependence? Spain's fashion industry is huge, but production costs are high, so Cambodia's cheap labor fills the gap. This keeps Spanish brands global and affordable. The EU-Cambodia FTA provides duty-free access, but with conditions on sustainability. Trade coverage ratio hit 4,143%, meaning Spain imports way more than it exports here. Recent growth of 141% since 2021 shows booming ties. Legally, EU rules require ethical sourcing, leading to factory checks. Spanish investments boost Cambodia's economy. If disrupted, Spain's retail sector could face higher costs. This highlights how Cambodia supports Europe's style scene. As a researcher, I note the need for balanced laws to protect workers. Number 5, Canada. Canada is 5th with $1.13 billion in imports from Cambodia in 2024, 4.2% share. This North American nation depends on apparel like trousers and shorts, 33% of imports, plus footwear, bags, and bicycles. Canadian stores like Walmart stock these affordable items. Why? Canada's cold climate needs lots of clothing, but domestic making is costly, so Cambodia's exports help keep prices low. Apparel imports rose 9.6% recently. The Canada-Cambodia trade grows under general WTO rules, with no tariffs on many goods. Bilateral trade hit new highs in 2024. Legally, Canada emphasizes human rights in deals, monitoring labor conditions. Investments from Canada create jobs in Cambodia. If supplies fall, Canadian consumers pay more. This dependence shows global links, with Cambodia aiding Canada's diverse market. Research suggests more FTAs could strengthen it. Number 4, Japan. Japan is 4th, importing about $1.8 billion from Cambodia in 2024, which is around 7% of Cambodia's total exports. This Asian giant depends on Cambodia for clothes, bags, shoes, furniture, leather items, and office supplies. Many Japanese stores like Uniqlo sell these affordable products made in Cambodian factories. Why do they rely on this? Japan has an old population, so fewer workers make things at home and costs are high. Cambodia's cheap labor helps keep prices low for Japanese buyers. Trade grew by 19% in the first 11 months of 2024. The Japan-Cambodia Economic Partnership Agreement cuts taxes on goods and encourages Japanese companies to invest. There are over 88 firms in Cambodia now, creating jobs. Legally, both follow WTO rules for fair trade, and the EPA includes protections for the environment and workers' rights. If something disrupts supply, like natural disasters, Japanese shops could have empty shelves and higher prices. From my view as a legal researcher at Bangladesh University of Professionals, strong agreements like this prevent disputes and promote growth, but we need better laws on labor to avoid exploitation. Cambodia benefits from tech transfers from Japan too. Overall, this tie shows how smaller countries support big economies in Asia. Number 3, China. China ranks 3rd, with imports of $1.9 billion from Cambodia in 2024, about 7.1% share. They buy apparel, wood products, fruits, rice, and rubber. China's huge factories and people need these raw materials and cheap clothes. Why the dependence? China is the world's manufacturing hub, but it imports extras from neighbors like Cambodia to keep production going strong. Bilateral trade hit a record $15.1 billion in 2024, up 23%. The China-Cambodia Free Trade Agreement and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership make most goods duty-free, boosting exports by 24.6% recently. Legally, these pacts follow international standards under WTO, with rules against unfair practices. Chinese investments build roads and factories in Cambodia, creating jobs but sometimes raising concerns over debt. If trade stops, China's tire and food industries could face shortages. As a BUP legal researcher, I see the need for balanced laws to protect the environment, as rubber farming can harm forests. This partnership helps Cambodia grow fast, like brothers sharing resources. Number 2, Vietnam. Vietnam is second, importing $3.6 billion from Cambodia in 2024, a big 13.8% of exports. Main items include rice, rubber, cashew nuts, cassava, corn, bananas, mangoes, tobacco, and soybeans. Vietnam's growing food and manufacturing sectors need these farm products that Cambodia produces well. Why depend? As close neighbors with shared borders, Vietnam buys extras to feed its people and factories. It's easier and cheaper than far away. Trade between them reached $7.8 billion in 2024, up 18.2%, aiming for $20 billion soon. Under ASEAN free trade agreements and bilateral deals, 28 Cambodian products enter Vietnam duty-free. Legally, these prevent smuggling and ensure fair borders, following WTO guidelines. Vietnam invests in Cambodian agriculture, helping modernize farms. If supplies drop due to weather, Vietnam's markets could have higher food prices. From a legal perspective at BUP, strong enforcement stops illegal trade and protects farmers' rights. This shows how nearby countries help each other grow like good neighbors trading backyard fruits. Number 1, United States. The U.S. is number 1, importing $13.3 billion from Cambodia in 2024, a massive 51% share. Key goods are handbags, rubber tires, sweaters, women's clothes, and footwear. Big U.S. stores like Target and Walmart stock these cheap items from Cambodian factories. Why so dependent? The U.S. doesn't make much low-cost apparel and accessories at home because labor is expensive, so they import to keep things affordable for shoppers. Trade gives Cambodia a big surplus. The generalized system of preferences allows duty-free entry for many products, but it requires good labor and human rights standards. Imports grew by 11% despite some tariff talks. Legally, U.S. laws like the Trade Act demand ethical sourcing, with checks on factories. American companies invest, creating over 800,000 jobs in Cambodia's garment sector. If new tariffs of 19% hit, U.S. prices could rise, hurting consumers. As a BUP legal researcher, I note that following international labor laws is key to keeping this partnership strong and fair. This huge tie drives Cambodia's economy forward. Thanks for watching this trade research. I hope it was easy to follow. Like and subscribe for more on global dependencies, and see you next time.